Hi, I'm Wendy, and this is the Staten Island Printmakers show, which was a result of a grant that I received from Staten Island Arts with public funding from the New York Department of Cultural Affairs. 15 printmakers are exhibiting now at Art on the Terrace. Stop by and you could see a beautiful show of all the varieties of printmaking that, that Staten Island printmakers do here locally. Right now I'm standing between Susan Grable's work, which is collage and collage work, and Bill Murphy's work, which are etchings. This is my work. These are a series of monotypes that I created, which is a one-off printmaking process. You basically paint with ink or paint or water-soluble crayons, but these are all ink, on a plate, and then run it through the press, and you get one image in reverse. And so that's what I've been doing. It's a kind of a painterly process, and that's what I've been exploring the last few years.
Looks very nice. Now, how many artists participated in this show?
There are 15 artists.
15 artists?
Yes, and they're all local Staten Islanders. This is Lenny Labrizzi, who does mezzotints, and this is a beautiful technique, a very old-fashioned type of technique where you take a copper plate and create a burr with a rocker on it, and then burnish out all the light areas. And it's a very time-consuming but beautiful technique where you get a whole range of tonalities on the plate, and sometimes almost photographic results. And like I said, this is my work. They're monotypes. And this is Phyllis Featherstone, who's worked in lino cuts, and there's an etching, and then these are lithographs. And here's Pat DiCicco, who does monotypes. And these are self-portraits. This one is after 9/11, and this is a year later. And he worked with Herman at the art lab for many years, and then took over Herman's class, sadly, when Herman passed away. And here's Carrie Shaheen over here on this wall, who does screen printing, and there's more of her work. Here's Lindsay Malazzo. And she does a series of portrait monotypes that are quite delicate and beautiful, oftentimes with watercolor. Sage Reynolds, who's an expert at lino cuts. So these are all lino cut prints that he has done. And this one is like a collage of lino cuts. And this is Coleman Rutkin. And he's a master printmaker. And these are all pigment prints that are a more, I guess, mechanical process. Not so traditional, but his work is quite beautiful, quite ethereal, and he does a lot of portraits as well. Over here is Optic Void, another wonderful printmaker who does a lot of etchings, and these are all etchings that she's done in the last year or so, and her work is really quite beautiful and very interesting. This is a lithograph, a stone lithograph by Diane Mattias, but she's been lately exploring a series of elephants. This is actually based on a true story of an elephant that escaped from Coney Island at the turn of the 20th century and swam to Newport Beach. And these are gelatin prints, and these are all monotypes where you work on the one print and then it's a one-off image. And this is Anne Marie McDonald. This is a series of solar prints, and this one is a solar print with a collage, which is another form of printmaking where you kind of make a collage on paper and use that as a plate. And if you notice, she used gold stitching to stitch them together, and wrote the word settled, because this is settled law until it is not. And here again is Carrie Shaheen, who does screen printing, which is like silk screening. And she does beautiful work, a little macabre and sweet at the same time. And here we have Bill Murphy, who is an expert printmaker. He does, I guess these are all etchings that he has created, and he does a lot of Staten Island specific scenes. And Susan Grable, another wonderful artist who's a sculptor as well, so is Anne Marie, and her work is collagraphs with collage, and she studies like a lot of women's issues and images of aging women and giving them relevance in her art. And here we have Jenny Vidic, who has done a bunch of solar prints, and she studied at the Cleveland Institute of Art, and she's been printmaking for many years, and she does wonderful work. And she's recently gotten into liner cut works, which are also quite lovely, but not on display today. And our final artist is Laura Markey, who's actually a fantastic painter. And during the pandemic, she got more into printmaking, and she started doing prints. These are also monotypes at home on plastic plates with gouache and transferring them to paper. So this is a series that she has been working on. And that is our show.
Looks incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. Very, very impressed. I had no idea there were so many artists on Staten Island.
There are more, but
There's more?
But I had to cut it off at 15 because we couldn't fit in the gallery. The grant only accounted for 15.
So where did you get the grant from?
The grant is from Staten Island Arts, and it was the grant process. It's due at the end of January each year, and it's an online grant that you apply for, and it's a long process, but they help you through it, and you then wait until April to see if your grant was granted, and if it is, then you could put on a show.
That sounds great. I hope one day I could get a grant.
Well, if you have to be in it to win it, so.
I'll tell all my friends.
Yes, you should.
Thank you very much.